story highlights Health and Human Services officials speak about flu before House committee. The U.S. has not had a new class of antiviral medications for the past 20 years, CNN. Though no new ground was broken at Thursday's congressional hearing about national influenza preparedness and response, several less familiar points were underlined by officials testifying on behalf of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Influenza, or flu, is a contagious respiratory illness caused by viruses. By all accounts, the U.S. 2017-18 flu season ranks among the most severe in recent decades, with high rates of flu-like illness hitting all regions at once. Rick Bright, director of the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, told the House Committee on Energy and Commerce that his group has supported the production of 23 influenza vaccines, antiviral drugs and diagnostics. The authority, known as BARDA, is tasked with shepherding vaccines, drugs and diagnostics through late-stage development, known as the Valley of Death due to high rates of failure caused by limited commercial market incentives. However, Bright also said, "We have not had a new class of antivirals for 20 years. This is a problem because the influenza virus continues to change and so can develop high levels of resistance against the single U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved antiviral, oseltamivir phosphate, commonly known as Tamiflu. Read more. The U.S. sees 140,000 to 710,000 flu-related hospitalizations and 12,000 to 56,000 flu-related deaths each year, according to Drive. Anthony Fauci, director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Looking to the future, the 2017-18 season vaccine has a 36% overall effectiveness rate in preventing influenza, Fauci noted at the hearing, explaining that the egg-based manufacturing process is part of the problem. Flu vaccine just 36% effective this season, CDC reports. Egg-based technology is time-honored indeed. It has been effective, but it is antiquated. We need to graduate into the 21st century, he said. Although cell-based technologies are better, recombinant DNA technology is the way of the future. It is always better to get vaccinated than to not get vaccinated, Fauci said, underscoring comments from Drive. Anne Schuchat, acting director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Influenza is a formidable adversary, Schuchat said Thursday, warning that the season is not done. Acknowledging the vaccine's less than optimal effectiveness, Schuchat reminded the committee that vaccinating children can be life-saving against the flu, as the vaccine showed 59% effectiveness in the youngest age group. We do know that the vaccines are providing protection to many, and they're mitigating the severity of the disease, she said. We have more data than ever before, though there is more to learn about the flu. Dr. Scott Gottlieb, commissioner of the FDA, also addressed the lackluster flu vaccine and said that any explanation is likely to be complex. since data suggests that the 2017-18 vaccine reasonably matched circulating strains. Flu warfare may look different next year. When asked about an experimental Japanese antiviral flu treatment touted this year, Gottlieb noted that the Osaka-based drug company, Shionogi & Company, Limited, has said publicly that it will submit an application to the FDA this year. Alternative Approaches Bright noted that this experimental drug, baloxavir/marboxil, brings down viral load very rapidly and uses a new mechanism of action, so if the virus becomes resistant to the existing class of antiviral drugs, the new drug would continue to be effective. BARDA has partnered with the drug's American-based sponsor, Bright said, for one of about a dozen or half-dozen efforts to create a new antiviral. Gottlieb said that some of the challenges in developing a new flu drug have been commercial ones, specifically getting a return on a new product once it enters the marketplace. The end is near. Flu has definitely peaked for the 2017-18 season. We are very interested in having a spectrum of antivirals, Gottlieb said, as they would serve as backup or alternative approaches to Tamiflu. He reminded the committee that the FDA had been criticized by outside groups when it approved Tamiflu because the antiviral showed limited effectiveness yet prominent side effects, such as vomiting. Follow CNN Health on Facebook and Twitter. See the latest news and share your comments with CNN Health on Facebook and Twitter. Overall, the Health and Human Services officials harmonized their testimonies like a well-rehearsed chorus. Before concluding the hearing, Committee Chairman Greg Harper of Mississippi joked that he deserved college credit for sitting through Fauci's colorful slideshow used to explain the need for a universal flu vaccine.